So we want our knees and our heels in line with one another. Thighs more or less parallel with the floor, hands on the thighs, elongating through the spine, closing the eyes. And see if you can feel your shoulders directly over your pelvis, your ears directly over the shoulders, raising the crown upwards. Tuning into the breath, Ujjayi breathing. Place the hands at the front of the heart. And we'll begin with this chant of Om 3 times. Om. 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 And raising the hands towards the ceiling, opening the eyes, interlace the fingers, turn the palms upwards, and we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen one side of the body. Come to the center, lift and lengthen the other side of the body. And up to the center, we're going to interlace our fingers behind the head, bring the elbows shoulder width apart, and then inhale, pick up the elbows up towards the ceiling, like we're going to send the elbows to the ceiling, and then arc the upper back and feel like we're going to send the elbows to the wall behind us. And then releasing the hands, place them over the knees. And we're going to exhale round the back. And then inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling, change the crossing of the fingers, turn the palms upwards, stretching up, and lift and lengthen one side of the waist. Back to center, lift and lengthen the other side. Back to center, the two sides together. Interlace the fingers behind the head. Squeeze the elbows. Pick up the chest. Send the elbows up and maybe a little bit back. And coming up, bring the hands over the knees, round the back, squeeze the belly, stretching out the back. And coming to sit up tall, we're going to bring our fingertips out to the sides. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And then from here, feel like our baby fingers are going a little higher. Our thumbs are softening down so that the baby fingers go up with the shoulder blades going up, but the thumbs soften down to create no tension in the neck. And then we're going to bend our right elbow, bring our hand on our shoulder blade, bring the left arm out to the side, thumb down, bending the elbow, and we see if we can get our fingers. If not, we could use our belt, and then feel like we're wrapping that right shoulder forward. Inhale, pick up the chest, mini little back bend. And then exhale, grounding the back a little bit forward. Inhale, picking up, opening the chest. Exhale, curling forward. One more. Inhale, picking up the chest, mini back bend. Exhale, curling. And coming to neutral, release the arms, bring the baby fingers forward. Inhale, stretch the arms upwards. See if you can get a little longer in the waist. Thumbs down, soften the neck. Bend the left elbow, hand on the shoulder blade. Bring the right arm out to the side, turn the thumb, bending the elbow, seeing if we can get our fingertips. Wrap that front outer arm forward and inhale, pick up the chest. Squeezing Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And exhale, rounding the back a little forward. Inhale, pick up the chest. Exhale, curling forward. Inhale, picking up the chest again. And exhale, round the back. And just coming back to neutral, bring the hands over the knees. And inhale, open the chest, mini back bend. Exhale, round the back, squeeze the belly. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. And coming back to neutral, we're going to stretch our legs out in front of us, come so that our sitting bones are just on the edge of our chairs. Press into the hands, use that to make space in the waist. Flex the feet, press the heels down, press the tops of the tibias up, press the tops of the thighs down. Chest is opening. And then we're going to bend our right knee, point the toes, and bring our right knee back. So keep using the hands, and we're going to see if we can really bring that leg back and then pick up the two hip bones, looking for maybe a small stretch on the front of the thigh. Anybody feel a stretch on the thigh? Yeah, good. Okay. Releasing. Bend the left leg, slide that back. And coming up, opening the feet wide, have the knees and the toes pointing in the same direction. Slide the hands on the inner thighs, guiding the inner thighs to lengthen. And open the chest here. Feel the lower belly pulling in, sitting bone skins coming towards each other. And then we're going to tilt forward, put our hands on the floor. So fingertips walking really far forward, and then kind of drag the fingertip skin back to lift the chest. Feel the shoulder blades anchoring on the back. Have a look at the knees, see if they've started to cave in. So then open them wide again. And then we're going to walk our hands back under the face, and then bring the toes, the heels, the toes, the heels in until your legs and your arms are touching. And then from here, we can walk our hands a little bit further back, press the hands into the floor, squeeze the elbows towards each other, and feel the shoulder blades gluing on the back, even though we're rounding our back. And then bring the heels, the toes, the heels, the toes, coming in as far as it feels quite comfortable. Maybe the heels touch and just the toes are on the floor. And then from here, we can stay here, or we can hold our chair. Maybe we can hold the back chair, back leg, sliding ourselves through. And then coming all the way up. And we're going to shake out our legs. And we're going to come up, but we're going to slide our right leg back, pointing the toes so that we're on the left femur bone. And we're reaching that right foot far back. So the heel goes back, but then walk like the toes forward. Does that make sense? Like you walk the toes forward and then press the heel back. And we're looking for the pelvis to be more or less square, front knee and ankle on top of one another. Press into the hands and then open the chest. Okay, then we're gonna walk a little forward, wiggle that foot forward, and we're gonna lift that back leg from the floor and put our fingertips on the floor. So reaching the toes like they're gonna touch the wall behind us. Drag the fingertips back, feeling the chest lifting. Squeeze Mula Bandha, squeeze Uddiyana Bandha, and then you're gonna see if you can bend the back knee. And releasing, coming up, and we're gonna change legs, right foot out, left foot under, bringing our femur bone on the chair, knee, ankle, foot, like samasthiti alignment, tuck the toes towards you, press the heel away. So you can wiggle the toes closer, so maybe you get a little stretch on the Achilles. And then feel the femur bone, the front of the thigh coming forward. Press into the hands, opening the chest. Breathing here. And then we're going to slide a little forward. Put our hands on the floor, tug the fingertip skin back, pulling back, and straighten the back leg off the floor. Reach the toes towards the wall. And then bend the knee, reach the foot towards the top of the chair. And then releasing. And we're going to come up and come off our chair. And then turning our chair around. Okay. Thinking about your request. So if you haven't noticed, can see me properly. Okay, so from here, we're going to try that kind of warrior 3 version. It's called Digasana in Ashtanga, so I know people call it warrior 3. We're going to bring the 4 corners of the abdominals towards each other, and then we're going to tilt forward, put our hands on the chair, and then pick up that right leg and try to have the foot on the wall. Press the heel into the wall, pull the toes off the wall, drag the fingertips back, like you're going to do that with your chair, but it doesn't move. And then feel the chest opening. Feel the pelvis squared. Breathing here. Press the heel, make sure the toes are pointing straight down. Pull the toes away from the wall, 4 corners of the abdominals, dragging the fingertips back, back of the neck nice and long. Now you're going to lift that foot off the wall, bend the knee, flex the foot, and see if you can reach the foot up towards the ceiling. But have a look, make sure your knee isn't splaying out to the side. So the knee is pointing straight down and you're pulling and lifting. And then release that foot, come up to stand. Verify you have the four corners of the abdominals, tilting forward, fingertips forward, lift that back leg, place it on the wall, press the heel to the wall, pull the toes off the wall, drag the fingertips back, and make sure you're engaging those right buttocks, right inner thigh, wrapping the right thigh down towards the floor. And bend that upper knee, flex the foot, double check your knee doesn't sway to the side. Reach the foot to the ceiling. And releasing, coming up. If you need to stretch, shake it out or anything, because we're gonna go again. The request was dancer pose, right? So we're leading up to that. Okay, so now the next time we're going to do this, we're going to start the same, tilting forward, put our hands on the chair, lift the leg, and then from here, we're going to find the four corners of our abdominals, stretch our fingertips behind us, make sure we feel like the right thigh is wrapping down, the lower belly pulling in so we don't sink into the floor. Reach the fingertips to the ceiling. I mean, to the wall. Yeah. And coming up, tilting forward, fingertips forward, pick up that back leg, pressing, squeeze that SI joint belt, and then see if you can lift the arms. Fingertips reach towards the wall, heel to the wall, engaging the buttocks, engaging the hamstrings. And fingertips forward and release. Coming up, dancer pose, at least the Ashtanga way, is really hard on the pelvis. You know, if you're not doing, like if you sway your knee out, then you don't get so much strength in your pelvis and your legs. That's why we're doing that, just to tell you. And it's not the way we do it in the vinyasa class. It's just more an easy version, right? Ashtanga always ups the antics on everything, right? So what I want to do is a little bit of back work. So do you have any problems in your back? Okay, I know you guys. So if it pinches in the back, then you know you don't go that far. So this project, we're bringing ourselves close to the wall, show you first, and then we're going to put ourselves on the wall. And then we're going to crawl up the wall. So the idea is I first want to get space in my waist before I start curling back. So reaching up, and then I'm going to turn my palms and bring my hands so that my hands are on my inner thighs, and I'm going to pull my inner thighs back. As I pull the inner thighs back, I'm lifting my chest up. And then from here, I have a hard time talking, let you walk down. If possible, I'm going to keep my chin in, but if possible, you interlace the fingers and then you reach the hands away from the legs and down towards the floor. So it'll be kind of like, and all the while, chest is going up. Let's see, I cannot talk. Okay. I'm gonna come around, okay, and see. So put yourself on the wall. The idea is a little bit away from you. Your toes don't touch the wall. That'll be way, way too hard. We need to bring our pelvis on the wall so that our pelvis is beyond our tippy toes. Okay, then put your hands up the wall, walk, separate the feet. Irene, you have to separate. It's going to be way too hard. Yeah. Get the length first. So feel like you've got lots of space between all your vertebrae. And then turn your palms to the sides. Reaching down, take the inner line of your legs. And then, so the inner line of the upper thighs, pull those back and slide the chest up. You can let the head come back. The chest goes up the wall. The hands go down the legs. If you feel fairly comfortable here, interlace your fingers. Reach the hands away from the legs and pull the hands towards the floor as the chest is always sliding upwards. It's kind of straight. When you come up, when you feel ready to come up, you come up from the bottom first. The chin is the last thing to come up. Is that okay online, Irene? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna up the ante here. It's an experimental class, if you haven't noticed, because I'm like bringing it a little higher than what we usually do. But if it doesn't work, next time you tell me we don't want to do that ever again. Okay. Or Lisa's going to be like, I'm never requesting something ever again. Okay. So this time we come about an arm's length away from our wall. And then we're going to tilt our pelvis forward. So what we were doing with the wall is learning how to tilt our pelvis forward, right? Because if I'm going to do like the Ashtanga dancer pose, you're holding your foot and, you know, your other arms out. So that's why we did all the arm stretches, right? To open the chest, feel the shoulder blades coming on the back. And then the other thing you need to be able to do is redistribute your weight a little bit forward so that you don't collapse back, right? So this is what we're going to work on. So I'll show you first. You bring, and I don't do that pose anymore, by the way, you know, it's like out of my repertoire. Enough dancers for my youth, my age. I don't do the full thing anymore, right? You're going to start like that, interlace the fingers behind the head, and then lift the elbows up towards the ceiling. And then from there, you're going to try to bring the elbows to the wall behind you. And then you're going to come up. You see how it's controlled the whole time. So even if you don't go into this extremely deep back bend, try to keep the control in the legs. So it's drop back, but as we're going towards dancer pose, you don't bend the knees, right? So this is the point, okay? So if it pinches, if it feels really bad, like, of course, it works all the muscles of the back, so this is normal, but if it, for some reason, it feels really bad, don't go so far. So Irene, you need to bring your weight a little more into your toes. Yeah. The length, interlace the fingers, feel the elbows reaching to the ceiling. Okay. Wrap the elbows, a little more weight forward. Wrap the elbows this way. Yeah. Wrap the elbows. Yeah. Do one or two, and then when you're done, I can show you the next step. And if you need to stop and you don't want to do the next step, you can work on this again. You can turn towards the wall. You can do that again. Okay, the next step, we have our legs grounded. We're opening our chest. We're letting the weight, like I go until just before that happens, right? That's how far forward you need to go, at least for me, because I guess if you're a contortionist, you might not need to do that, but if you're not, then you have to do this. And then I'm going to start the exact same way, lifting up, curling back. And then see, I want you to make notice that my hands are lower than my head. Okay, this is why I'm keeping the hands here, because often people let their head hang back and their hands are higher than their head. So your arms need to be like this in dancer pose, right? Or drop back, same thing. Otherwise you would drop on your head. So elbows reaching, and then, right? So it's under control the whole time. I'm not just like, I'm not landing on the wall, okay? And so if you're a little tighter in your back, maybe it's gonna look something like this. And so it would be harder for you to, right, keep the hands lower than the head. But think about that, okay? Try to get them lower than the head. The elbows up, more weight in the toes, pelvis forward. Elbows to the wall, fingertips, and then come up. The whole point is the come up. When you come up, so don't crawl down the wall. The whole point is to be able to come up, and you have to work the legs when you come up. So you try, see how many you want to try. If you want to do 2 or 3, if it feels like it's too much, then you stop. If you feel like you've had enough, you're going to put your sitting bones on the wall, straighten your arms, bend your knees, press into the hands, and squeeze the belly. Stretch out the back, release the back. And then put the fingertips on the floor, walk the fingertips way far forward. Okay, coming up. You guys okay? Back's okay? Okay, so now we're going to come close to the wall, and we're going to bend one knee, and we're going to bring our foot back, and we're trying to, a little too close, and we're trying to put the foot on the wall and bring the knees more or less level, right? And you can have your hands on the wall and try to bring the knees together so they're not touching, but on the same level. And then from here, if you can balance here, then you're going to take your hands on your pelvic, like just below the pelvic calves, and then lift up and squeeze the 2 front hip bones. It's true on this one, it's harder, this little ledge. Okay, squeeze that up. Take your hands on your low back ribs, lift those up, and then stretch the arms to the ceiling. Reach the baby fingers up, thumbs soften down, point those toes behind you. Try to press the knee to the wall. Turn the hands and release, and second side. So bend that knee up. Trying to have the knees level in that plane, horizontal. Take your hands on your pelvis, lift the pelvis up, low back ribs lifting, reaching the hands. Point those toes behind, wrap the outer arms, elbows straight but not locked. And turn the palms and release. Okay, we're going to take our yoga belts. And we're going to come onto our knees. So we want to make a little belt, a little loop, like something like that size, more or less. And we're going to come on our knees and we're going to stick the loop around the ankles. Okay, and from here, so just so you guys can see online, see my feet are hip width apart. Maybe I should do this. Let's see better. Okay, so the feet are hip width apart. The knees are hip width apart. Press the tops of the feet into the floor so you can double check. Baby toe pressing down, baby toe pressing down. And let's just leave the belt for a moment and verify low back ribs lifting up. So you should feel that toning in of the front body. And then we're going to take our belt and just bring the belt over the head behind us, holding something like that. So now we're integrating what we did at the beginning, right? Remember we did this, it's the same position. So try not to have the elbows like that, like you're a little bit like that. So bring the elbows forward and then you're going to pull your belt and lift the chest up. Walk your hands down the belt, lift the chest up. Walk the hands down the belt, lift the chest up. And just go to a place that feels, it's challenging, but it doesn't hurt. And you can keep some mindfulness and control over the pose. Inhale, coming up, separate the knees, walk the hands forward, stretching out the back. How are you guys doing? Back's okay? Everybody's okay? Okay, we do one more. Okay, the last big back bend. Okay, we'll skip the back bends on the chair today at the end. Okay, so this time we're going to use our wall. We put one hand on the wall and we're integrating the standing versions with what we just did sitting. And then we want to have the knees more or less the same level to start, the pelvis level, fingertip on the wall, and then we're going to lift. And we don't want to be, right? We want our knee level. And then we can see, maybe we can start to lift up and put our fingertips on the wall, lift, and you can experiment like that. Let me help. So you don't have to go really, really far. You can see with the belt, you can have a big, big distance. Left fingertips on the wall. And then when you find a certain amount of balance, get your belt, walk down your belt, put the fingertips back on the wall, find stability, and then maybe walk a little more. You see. And it can feel good even if we're just doing a mini little dancer. Had enough on that side, you change sides. And when you've had enough there, releasing. Good, that's nice. Okay, and let's come back to our wall, sitting bones on the wall, and hands on the knees, pressing into the knees, straightening the back, squeezing the belly, put the forearms on the thighs, squeeze the belly, and fingertips way out in front of us, stretching our backs. Maybe we work in the direction of straightening the legs. Maybe we keep them bent. See what's going on. You want to keep the back nice and elongated, doing a nice counter pose, releasing that back bend out of our back. And then we're going to walk our hands forward into a downward facing dog. Turn the eyes of the elbows forward, the inner elbows. Start to bend the knees. Slowly, slowly squeeze the elbows. Press all fingers evenly. Squeeze the elbows. Squeezing, squeezing slowly down. And put the forearms on the floor. And then walk the toes back. And we're coming into a plank. If we're too close to the wall, just go a little away from the wall. Pressing all 10 fingers. Finding the four corners of the abdominals, press the heels away. Lower down and take a little break. Shake out the pelvis, shake out the legs. And then we're going to find our forearm plank again, press the heels, and then here, see if you can feel like you're bringing the ribs to the shoulder blades and the shoulder blades to the ribs. Press the heels away, look down your body, see that you're nice and straight. And either staying here or start to slide your chest forward, slide your chest back. Sliding forward, press the fingertips, sliding back. And going back and forth a few times. You feel like your muscles are just going to give out, then you come down. You want, if you're working the strength, you have to work like to that like very uncomfortable place. Okay, shaking that out. Okay, now we're gonna try our forearm with the feet up the wall. So it depends how strong you are, how much weight you're going to put into your arms. Like if you're not super strong, then maybe you can be a little bit further away from the wall, so something like that. And maybe you're just going to walk, maybe something like this, right? If you want to work a little bit more, you can also use a belt around the arms. And I'm going to come around and help if anybody needs that. If you're a little bit stronger, then maybe you're going to walk a little higher up the wall and try to have the pelvis over the shoulders, right? You guys see? Okay, so something like that. And if you want, you can work on lifting one leg, lowering, lifting the other leg. Okay. And if you know your elbows are sliding out to the side, take the belt, put the belt around the elbows. Sliding, yeah. So, Amy, you have to open your hands a little more. Yeah, open the hands wide. So put just the hands down on the floor. I'm skipping a lot of the details today. And you're going to squeeze down and put the forearms. So just the hands first. Yeah. Yeah. And then squeeze your elbows towards each other and place that down. Feel all the fingers pressing. And then before you lift up, you're going to just lift your knees. Yeah. And glue your shoulder blades and your chest towards each other. Start to walk the feet up the wall. And then bring your pelvis towards me. Yeah. Feel your shoulder blades coming on the back. Press the hands. If you want to work on lifting one leg, any chance to do the second? Okay, and then when you're ready, yeah. You want me to help you with the legs? Yeah, with your legs, you need to bring your pelvis back with me. Yeah, come on the tippy toes. Yeah. See what I'm doing with your ribs? You need to bring, yes, good. Feel the shoulder blades coming onto the ribs. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. And I did give you the choice. So I'm sorry. You go further. Okay, when you've had enough, you're coming into a child's pose, either a normal one. If your back still, like I usually find that the normal one is good for the upper back, the wide knee one is good for the lower back. So just see what's going on in your body if you want to stretch more your upper back. And releasing here, just letting go. Angela, I don't know if you're there, but I didn't see that you were trying to sign in until quite late. So I'm not sure if you gave up. Rolling up to a sitting position. We're going to interlace our fingers, reach our arms away, stretching the chest, stretching the arms. If it feels comfortable, you're going to bring your hands back, bring the elbows towards you, lift the buttocks, and we're just trying to stretch our shoulders. And coming up, bring the right arm like an L, left arm over, intertwining the forearms, lift the elbows, press the hands away, finding those places that need to be stretched after all that upper body work. Closing the eyes, tuning into your breath. And then you're going to curl forward, tuck the chin, round the back, elbows towards the navel, head dropping down. Inhale, rising up. And then release. We're going to switch the arms, L shape with the left arm, right arm on top. Intertwining, close the eyes, relax the jaw, lift the elbows, press the hands away. Tuning into your breathing. And tuck the chin, round the back. Inhale, coming up. And then we're going to release the arms. You guys feel okay there? Yeah? Okay. Come to sit on one side of the legs, of the heels, and we're going to separate our feet out to the sides, making this nice wide angle. Press the heels into the floor, tops of the tibias up, tops of the thighs down. You can press the tops of your thighs and feel like you're going to reach away from the floor with the chest. Okay, then from here, we're going to stretch our fingertips out to the sides. Feel that fingertip skin on the floor. Drag the fingertip skin towards you and see if you can feel the deltoid skin rising up towards the ears so it softens the neck, especially after everything we've just done. So a lot of could be tension in there. So just feel that. Can you guys feel that? I don't know if it's too subtle. And then feel the side neck skin sliding directly back. You can close the eyes. So basically what we're looking for is the side of the neck. The skin slides directly towards the wall behind us. The middle part right up over the shoulders goes up over the shoulders, down the back. And then the deltoid skin goes towards the ears. And this will help relax the jaw, all the facial muscles. See how much of that you can maintain and then tilt the pelvis. Okay, so don't dump the head forward. Wiggle the fingers forward till they come in front. And you're going to just see how much of that can I maintain. Skin of the sides of the neck going away. Making sure there's no tension in our necks. Let me see how far forward you can go, where it feels comfortable enough. Maybe if you're quite far, maybe the chest can touch the floor and the forehead. And then we're going to turn the right hand palm up. And then we're going to walk with our left hand. We're going to try to bring our right shoulder to our right knee. Walk that hand and then bring the left arm up to the ceiling. Coming back to the center. Walking forward. Turn the left hand, palm up. Slide your shoulder towards your knee. Lift the right arm. Back to the center. We're going to do the other side again. Going a little more fluidly. Opening. Back to the center. Turning to the other side. And back to the center. One last time, reaching forward and coming all the way up. Bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet together, heels really close to us, palms, hands behind us, push into the hands and lengthen the back. I'm gonna lift the knees, cross the ankles, come onto the hands and the knees, and bring the left arm under the right arm, ear, shoulder down, walk your right hand forward, stretching the upper back. And coming back up and switching sides. Right arm under, stretching far away. Left hand can stretch way out in front. And releasing and coming up. So the last position we're going to do will be more restorative. We have these egg-shaped blocks here at the studio, so we're going to use those. And you put a blanket over the egg, and we're going to put our, if you don't, people at home won't have their eggs, the egg-shaped blocks. So either you can put a normal block with a blanket, and so we're going to put that between the shoulder blades, something like this. And we might need a second block, and we're going to put our legs up the wall. So you just have to try to figure out how far I am, you know, something like that. And I'm going to give you a second block to put under the head like this. Okay, so something like that. And you can come closer or further from the wall depending on your strengths. You guys have your blocks. Yeah, like this, right between the shoulder blades. It's nice because I think it's better than the rigid blocks, it's softer. Okay, if you need some wiggling around, I can also help you reposition the props. And I hope that's working for you guys online. That we try to release, but the reason why I don't like the cork blocks going right into the upper back, and I used to teach it like that for a long time, but then when you learn a little bit about fascia, I think it's really not good for our fascia. We want to be more soft on the fascia. Hopefully everybody's settled here. And you can take some breaths out the mouth, letting go. Now we're going to take a scan of our body. And as we feel each part of the body, we want to see if we can relax it. Okay, so it should feel pretty good. If it's not feeling good, don't hesitate to come out before I say. So feeling the feet and the toes, relaxing the feet and the toes. I have eye pillows if you want. Yeah. Relaxing around the ankles. Relaxing the shins, the calves. Amy, do you want this on your eyes? Do you like that? Yeah. Relaxing around the knees. Irene, do you like something on your eyes too? Yeah. Yeah. Let the femur bones feel heavy. Just going into the hip sockets. Softening inside the hip sockets. Letting the pelvis feel heavy and relaxed. Relaxing the buttocks, the lower back, the middle back, all the way up to the back of the neck. Just allowing the muscles to soften. Bringing the awareness to the front of the body, the chest, across the collarbones. Relaxing the sides of the neck, the throat, the root of the tongue and the jaw. Relaxing around the mouth, over the nose and the cheeks. Around the eyes and the forehead. The whole body feels completely relaxed, allowing the mind to be still, resting, quiet. A nice inhale, awakening the breath. We press the elbows into the floor, remove the blocks. Bring the knees towards you. When you feel ready, coming up to a sitting position. Placing the hands together. Maybe you want to imagine that you're wrapped in peace, being held, protected in peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Namaste.